Welcome back again, and this is Tuesday, I'm sorry. And we still have 3 weeks to go before we end our semester. And by the end of the semester, you need to submit your term paper. And today, lesson 14. So it's almost a conclusion for our lecture that I'm going to tell you how to write your term paper. And I gave you just one video last time to talk about argumentative essay writing for policy and political science. And it lasted for only a little bit more than 14 minutes. If you review that, you will be, I believe that you could find out that other than the techniques, the writing skills we have highlighted through this semester, the other important knowledge you need to acquire for yourself is the subject knowledge. If you want to study gay rights, and then you have to study a lot of literature about gay rights, how they have been treated unfairly, the historical development of gay right protection, and the judicial system of different nations. There are many issues you need to read, you need to know before you can write something profound, sophisticated. So you have to remember one thing. To write is one thing, but to write something significant enough for your reader to feel interested is quite another. Then how can you make your readers feeling interested in reading your articles? Well, basically, you have to study a lot. You have to study a lot. And throughout the semester, I have been often asked by students, and there's a commonality of those questions. That is, my topic is so strange, I cannot find out any articles. I feel a little bit frustrated about your question about this. Why? Because all the questions assigned to you, all the research questions assigned to you are very straightforward and very easy. If you want to identify Lantern festivals, you could find a lot of articles out there. If you want to find out, let's say, transitional justice in Taiwan, then there are a lot of articles out there. The only thing that I know you do not have the skills yet, and you do not have the idea to screen the necessary literature. But I guarantee you, one thing for sure, that the article that you need to read to increase your subject knowledge are abundant. So many out there. Okay, so next time, if you have any trouble of identifying the literature for yourself, just ask me. Okay, come to ask me. I will be more than happy to provide you a clue, some hints, and the approach, and what kind of articles you could identify. Just go there and check it out. Windsor Library has a lot of sources out there, and the only thing you need to do is just dig into that library and use the proper keywords to retrieve the articles that you need to read. Okay, so let's move on to lesson 14 for today. So as a conclusion for the lecture, that because starting from after I finish the lecture, you are going to start writing. You are going to start to write your own term paper. And last week, you tried very hard. Most of the students tried very hard to produce an outline for your own term paper. But remember, I did send back the draft outline back to you. But as I say, this is a draft, and it's open for change, open for revisions. So please don't just stick to it. If you stick to it, then that would be kind of dangerous, because you will feel obliged to fulfill your mission. But you can change that, of course. There's no problem for this. As long as throughout the remaining weeks of your studying your own articles, you may be able to increase some other knowledge about how to present your term paper in a better way. Okay, so writing in international affairs. So let us focus on the word international affairs here. So what are the major components when we talk about international affairs? And what are the major disciplines we need to know about international affairs? Starting from last semester, we have an English reading for international affairs, and I believe that all the students should have known so far. That is, when we talk about international affairs, it is the discipline, it is an interdisciplinary issue. You cannot just focus on one specific perspective. So basically, in our department, we provide 3 different disciplines: political economy, international political economy, and international cultural study, and international politics. So basically, there are 3 different approaches to look at the complexity of international affairs. That's why if you look at your own issue that you are required to fulfill for your term paper for this semester, we have more than 100 of the topics you can choose from. Those topics range from international cultural study to international politics and to international economic study. So you can see we offer a very broad range of study that it can offer you to do. So basically, you have to learn to appreciate the beauty of the complexity of international affairs. So today, how can we present our knowledge in our writing? 2 things you do require. First one is you read a lot. You read a lot by yourself about the subject knowledge you want to study. If you are interested in, let's say, American policy to Taiwan and China, then go there to read a lot of articles by yourself. And of course, you have to go to a library. You have to go to a library to dig out the information by yourself, right? The article by yourself. And for example, if you are interested in, let's say, the shopping behaviors changed in the COVID-19 pandemic era, okay, fine. Then you go there to read a lot of other articles by yourself. If you are interested in marketing strategy of the multinational corporation, then that is a good idea too, right? But no one specific course in our department, in any college, offer you the subject knowledge that you need to fulfill your term paper. Then in this regard, of course, you have to study by yourself. As a college student, self-learning is a very, very important discipline that you need to learn first. Self-learning. Then how can you learn by yourself? You have to find out necessary articles for you to read, right? And where are the articles? In Winsor's library. Just go there, okay? So let's move on to the requirements that I asked you to fulfill for your term paper. So let's move to the first. If you open your workbook, in one of the first pages, you will see the lesson framework for today, for this semester, right? So basically, we provide various lessons, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a lot of other lessons. All of these lessons have one major issue, one major target. That is to help you to learn the skills of writing a term paper with this format. So when we say an academic paper normally include, that's too heavy, normally include 3 and 3+1 section. The first one is introductory paragraph, right? So we have learned already how to write a hook and provide background information. And so eventually you write our thesis statement to tell your readers what kind of major issues we want to give you, we want to offer to readers to read. Okay, and after the first introductory paragraph, we will follow with body paragraphs. So body paragraph, normally we need to have several body paragraphs. So you look at here, we have a pronoun here, right? In English writing, remember, it's very important to keep in mind one paragraph, one major idea. Basically, you do not combine several ideas into one paragraph. And when you write out one paragraph, you have to look at your topic sentence. What is the topic sentence? When we say topic sentence, it should include one topic and one controlling idea, or we can say one main idea, right? So basically, all the arguments and evidence are to support or to describe your topic sentence. So by the end, you need to have a concluding sentence or transitional sentence to reflect your topic sentence. So these are the body paragraphs. So the last part is the concluding paragraphs. So when we say concluding paragraph, what do we need? We need to have a topic sentence and a summary of the body paragraphs and a conclusion sentence. And other than our usual writing, informal writing, in our, let's say, in high school or sometime earlier, we need, in an academic paper, academic essay, we need to provide citations and the reference. It's very important. Citations and reference. So why do we need to cite? Why do we need to provide references for our readers? Well, is to give the credit to the original or contributor of the ideas. So we have learned that basically when we say when do we need to cite, the first question we need to ask is that whose idea? So we have to ask one thing first, that is whose idea? If you are writing something, then you have to ask whose idea. And if this is your idea, yours, okay? And then it is very obvious that you do not need to cite, right? If this is others, not yours, then what can you do? Then you have to ask another question. If this is a common sense, yes, then you don't need to cite. If this is not a common sense, then normally you need to cite. Citation, basically when we say citation, is to give the proper credits to the original contributor of the ideas you put on your paper. If you do not cite properly, you commit a risk to have the plagiarism. So what's wrong with plagiarism? Plagiarism can cause a lot of harm to your academic career. So never plagiarize. Indeed, so read my lips, don't plagiarize. If you plagiarize in your term paper, you will get 0. 0, not okay, 0, 0. Okay, so don't do that. And we do have a very useful software to catch your plagiarism. So, and let me tell you about this. For example, this one. Okay, so actually I have put all your records here, and we found out that we can have all the paper here, and I will divide the paper back to you to give you some idea about when you write out your draft, did you plagiarize at all or not? So we can see it's okay here. See, there's no plagiarism, and this is citation references. It's okay. And let's move down to see more evidences to see if you are writing by yourself. It seems that most of the students are writing by yourself, right? But this one may not be the good idea, right? So let's move down. And I will give this to you. Just give you a very simple idea. Plagiarism is bad. Very, very bad. If you do this, then you will get the 0 score all the time, and you will feel frustrated. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, so that's any questions so far? So if not, we are going to. I'm going to tell you what we are going to what you are going to write for your term paper. What is the requirements here? So let's look at. You can turn to your workbook. You take out the workbook before you, and turn to page 137. And on page 138, we have the evaluation table for the final essay. And this one is very important. This one is very important because this one focuses on realizing your knowledge about the writing skills for every individual components of the term paper. So basically, you need to follow the evaluation table, or otherwise you will suffer a lot of points lost. Okay, so let's see what are the requirements here. Basically, you need to provide a clear title for your final essay. And remember, when we say a clear title for your final essay, I often emphasize a title normally is a phrase. It must be a phrase, but not a question. So what does a phrase mean? This is the phrase. You can see the danger of political advertising. So this is a phrase. Okay, so be careful. Don't put a question here, or don't put a sentence here. Just a phrase. Okay, so you need to put something here, and also, and if you notice that there are 5 different scales of the evaluation here. So if I look, when I check your title, I will determine what kind of qualification or quality of your title is. So there are 5 different levels of the evaluation. Very satisfied. There are 5. Very satisfied, satisfied, just okay, dissatisfied, very dissatisfied. So what are the evaluation percentage for this one? Yeah, I'll move down here so you can know. When we say, if I check very satisfied, you get 100% of the assigned score for that item. Satisfied, 80%. Just okay, 60%. And dissatisfied, 30%. And very dissatisfied, you get 0 for the assigned score. And each item has an assigned score. This is the assigned score. So for the title, the assigned score is 2. So if I check here, then you get 2, 100% of the 2. And if I check here, then you get 80% of the 2. And if I check here, you get 60% of the 2. And here is 30% of the 2. And this is 0 of the 2. Okay, so I will give you a very detailed evaluation form back to you after I collect all the paper. I will grade and tell you which one is qualified, which one is not. Okay, so be careful. It's very important. And the next evaluation criteria is the next section move to the introductory paragraph. See, you can see here, introductory paragraph. When you say introductory paragraph, we have 3 major components, right? We do have one hook. We need to have some background information. And of course, we need to have a thesis statement. So the assigned score for hook is 2 points. So what is the hook? Something that can get the interest from your readers to read your article. So a hook of 1, 2, 3 sentences to grab your reader's attention. This is 2 points. And a background description of 3 to 5 sentences. These are 3 points. And thesis statement is very important. So I assign 6 points to this. So what do you need to present your thesis statement? Well, look here. Basically, you need to provide 3 points written in 1 sentence. Oops, this is typo. And sentence to inform your readers. what you are about to do in this essay. So basically, the requirement is very strict. You need to provide 3 points, okay? Just for the practice purpose. Of course, in real life, you may not need to do this. And in other essays, you may have different variations of writing your thesis statement. But basically, for the purpose, why do you need to have 3 points? Because I ask you to have 3 body paragraphs. Then each body paragraph writes on each of the points here. Okay, so these 2, 3, and 6. So let's look at the body paragraph. We have 3 body paragraph, right? So body paragraph 1, body paragraph number 2, and body paragraph number 3. Okay, so the allocate assigned score for each of the body paragraph are as follows. Basically, you need to have 1 topic sentence. It's very important. English writing all start with your topic sentence. So the topic sentence is 2 points. And then follow with a set of claim evidence analysis, Warren structured sentence. You can use or plain or Tolman. It's up to you. It's up to you. But basically, you need to have analysis, evidence, and analysis in the central part of the paragraph. So by the end, this one is the one conclusion sentence. One conclusion sentence, it may be followed with a transitional sentence to the next paragraph. Okay, so this is one thing we need to have. So all start from the one topic sentence, and then follow with the evidence and analysis, and then conclude with the one conclusion sentence to conclude your body paragraph. So we have 3 body paragraphs. So all the body paragraphs have the same assigned score proportion. 2 for the topic sentence, 4 for the body sentences, and 2 points for the conclusion sentence. So all the way down to paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and paragraph number 3 here. And now we move on to paragraph and the concluding paragraph. So this one, conclusion paragraph. So a number of sentences to review the major points discussed in the body. So basically, in the conclusion, you have to provide some reflection. What you have done, what you have already discussed so far. It's very important. And then you have to put 1 or 2 sentences to restate your thesis, to give a reflection, to tell how are you going to conclude your thesis statement. And then 1, 2, 3 sentences to end your essay with something memorable. This is 2 points. 2 points. Okay, so basically, this is the whole structure that you need to present for your term paper. Okay, and so far, do you have any question? Okay, so if not, let's move to the other parts. The other parts are directly related to the way of your writing. And you need to have the skills of using EndNote. You need to make sure that grammar is correct, the logical flow is clear, and so on and so on. So let's look at what are the requirements here. The first one, you have to make sure the font is Times New Roman. Times New Roman at 12. Okay, so this is 2. And also the line space is 2. 2, and you need to uncheck all the boxes. So let me tell you what does this mean. Okay, let's use this one. This one, and we have layout. Oh, okay. So look here, paragraph. And you have to put this to double and unchecked all. and put this to 0, 0, and this is the correct 9 space. Okay, so this is what I say about this. So we say the 9 space is 2 space. You have to uncheck all boxes, and this is 2. It's very easy. If you follow, then you will be fine. If you do not, that is not fine. Okay, so and you have to use EndNote to create footnotes and reference, and this is 10 points. And you have to be good at using EndNote. That is the way it is. And you need to use Turabian bibliography style or Chicago style. And this is 4. And you have to cite at least 5 sources. And this is 5 points. And you have to cite from at least 1 book and 2 journal articles. And remember, this is very important. And we have 8 points for this. So basically, all of these are quite straightforward. If you do, you get the point. If you don't, you don't. And you have to follow the same format as figure 2. This is the figure 2 here. Same format. On the upper right corner, there's 1 nice space. So this is final essay, English writing for international affairs, and your name and your school ID number and the month, day, comma, and year. So this is the something you have to put. And this is the title. And you can see this is 2 nice. This is 2-9. The space is 2-9, right? And this is references. You have to type the references by yourself and put them in the center. And this is the requirements. Okay, so this is what you need to put. So this is the template for the final essay. And did you see this? This is font 10. The font for this one is 12. And all the fonts on the paper is Times New Roman. So before you submit your paper, you have to make sure that all the fonts are Times New Roman. Okay, so be careful for this one. And the last two, 14 and 15. The first one is the logical flow is clear. The logical flow is clear. How can you make sure that your logical flow is clear? Basically, there's a very simple rule. You provide a hook, a background, a thesis statement, right? So the logical is clear for in your introductory paragraph. Inside your thesis statement, there are 3 major points you want to discuss. So I would expect in the body paragraphs, you have 3 body paragraphs. Each of the body paragraph should start with a topic sentence. Then each of the topic sentence should reflect to one of the 3 major points. So you can see the structure is very clear, right? So the thesis statement has 3 points, and each of the 3 points can be used to develop one whole paragraph. So the 3 main body paragraph will discuss your thesis statement. And in the conclusions paragraph, you provide some reflection, some summary, and to restate your thesis statement, and then by the end to give something memorable to your readers. So this is the so-called logical flow. If this is clear, of course, you get 4, right? And the last part is the grammar is mostly correct. And remember, what I require you to become mostly correct is that I do not look forward to your 100% of correctness. It's too demanding. But at least you have to try hard to present most correctly. Okay, this is 10 points. So let's take a look. What I want to say is the mechanical part is here. And the logical part and your ability is here. So what is the mechanical? How many points for the mechanical part? Well, 2 to 14. Well, we have 14, 20, 18 and 23, and 23 plus 12 is 35. So basically, the skill you need to have is 35 points. The ability part is 20 points. So the writing formats part is 45. So look here, we are looking forward to your ability to present your paper. This is your contents, the context you are going to provide. And these are the mechanical part you need to know. And this is the logic ability you need to nurture for your own. So basically, this is 100%. Okay, so far, do you have any question? Okay, so if not, let's take a break for 10 minutes and please come back at 9:55 and I will start to tell you how to use EndNote and incorporate EndNote into your work. Give you some idea so that you can avoid committing any mistakes of using it. Okay, so let's take a 10 minutes break and I'll come back later. Okay, let's resume our class for today. We have finished discussing the major components you need to fulfill in your term paper. Now we talk about something about the incorporation of EndNote into the Word. So did you see this is my Word setup? This is Word program. And one thing is a little bit different from yours, maybe here. If you can see, this okay, and this part, if you can see from here, I have a special setup here, and this is very convenient in a way that you can just click it and you can have everything that you'd have to have. So basically, I will tell you how to create this. The first one is to right-click your mouse, and you will see customize the ribbons. You just click it. And once you get into the windows here, you can get here, quick access toolbar. And Chinese version 好像快捷. Okay, so over here, did you see this over here? We have footnote, insert caption, outline view, and insert selected citation. So where you can find it, okay, the first one is footnote. Footnote, you can go there to see, here is footnote. 注解 in Chinese. And you just take it in because I have already, right? And insert citation, here is insert citation. Insert caption is in the cross-reference. So we can go to the cross-reference. All comments. You can use all comments. All comments here. So you can just go there to insert caption. So there's an insert caption. Insert. Okay. Insert caption here. Yeah, okay. Here's insert. Here is the insert caption over here. Caption. So you just bring in. So the only one you would find out you need to identify is from EndNote. So here is the EndNote add-in. We have EndNote 1. So you just go there to find out the insert selected citation. So insert selected citation is something here. You just drag in. Once you have finished this, and make sure there's a show quick access toolbar below the ribbons. If you do not, it will appear over on the top right, top left. I'm used to put them over here, so I will click here. If not, you can see. You will change to here, right? It's a little bit awkward to see. So I prefer to make them at the show this below the ribbon. So here is this is the setup. Okay, so let's see. This is the basic setup for my Word program. And how can we use EndNote? EndNote is here, right? Something you see, and this is EndNote. You're going to see. So I used one of the students, actually Finance paper, and for lesson 12, I take it out and to look at, give you some idea how I observe, how I evaluate this writing. The first one, let's look at whether there's a topic sentence. Okay, public opinion toward gay rights and their equality can be shaped. This one. And this is the topic. And this is the major idea, main idea. Can be shaped by major media events. So over here, I would expect something for why it can be shaped by major media events, okay? And by the end of this should be a concluding sentence to provide some reflection to the topic sentence, right? So here, this is the topic sentence, and this is the conclusion. And over here is evidence and analysis. It doesn't matter whether you want to follow a meal plan or a Tolman model. If this is a meal plan, then this is the main point. Did you see this? This is the main point over here, starting from here. And this is the linkage, a link to the main point. So we have L. So inside here is E and A. So we have a meal here, right? Of course, apparently this is the meal plan because this is not the augmented Tolman model, but it's okay. Okay, let's see this one. Now, we have a basic format, and this is quite reasonable, and this is good. But let's look at the body sentences, the E and A part over here. So let's go through this part and try to help her to improve her writing to some extent. So let's see here. According to a previous study by Pollock, a range of factors alter public opinion and fundamental predisposition, and including not mentioned, including major media events, the so-called critical moments, can cause individuals to alter their beliefs. So there's a footnote, number 1, right? There are some problems here. The first one is, according to a previous study by Pollock, a range of factors alter this. So it seems that you are trying to put a mark, a beginning here, and this is the end, right? So this idea here is something you want to cite, you want to refer. A range of factors alter popular opinions and fundamental predispositions. So basically, this is the idea you want to cite because you set the boundary. You know, when we cite, we need to mark the boundaries. The boundary begins here, ends here, is all right? So I will assume, when I read this, I will assume that you try to highlight this portion as something you use to support your arguments. But I found out it's kind of strange. You put a number here, okay? So be careful. If this is a sentence, and it should be ending here, but not here, unless you want to, you change your writing style to including major media events and so on and so on. Okay, so the position of the note number 1 is in doubt. A little bit strange. Should be here. There's another problem, the quotation mark. When we say quotation mark, is not a two quotation, single quotation. Instead, we have to put the so-called critical moment. There's a word like this, right? But not this. You use two single quotation. This is a single quotation, I can see. This one, right? So be careful. You have to use this instead of two quotation marks here. It's very strange because these are the two stuff. Okay, anyway, let's turn this back. Okay, now, when you say according to Pollock, and you put a quotation, citation, footnote number over here, and then I go down here to see what kind of reference citation you refer to. This is from Philip Pollock, right? So this is his paper. It's his paper. So I go to check it out. So let's look at Pollock. So this is Pollock. Let's see about the difference between this and that. And it's a little bit intriguing. See here. Actually, you are using the source. You are using the source provided by Brewer. Is that right? By Brewer. You say according to a study by Pollock, right? And over here, starting from here to here. Basically, this passage is not directed from Pollock. Instead, it is from Brewer. So how did I check it out? I check it out, Pollock is here. So basically, this is his paper. This is his paper. So this passage, let's look at, I want to emphasize the importance of avoiding plagiarism. I know you did not intentionally to plagiarize, but the problem is that the structure of your writing is very similar to the structure of the original author. Let me point out to you. So here, you say, a critical moment in American history was the murder of a gay student, Matthew Shepard. In 1998, Shepard was brutally tortured and left to die on a fence. This passage. Actually, this passage is very similar to this passage. Very similar. So when we say plagiarism is about the idea. It's not about the wording. If the idea, the structure of the ideas is a kind of copy or very similar to the original structure of the ideas of the other author, then this can be can be very suspicious for the so-called plagiarism. So be careful of this. It's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky. And the second issue is that Pollock, this article is not from Brewer. It's from Brewer, but not from Pollock himself. Okay, so this is Pollock. So you have to point to the original author. Okay, so now let me give you another idea about, so when we try to avoid plagiarism, we are using this, a very critical idea for you to keep in mind. What is the usefulness? What is the usage of the literature? Basically, literature are the critical evidences are something very variable to support your arguments. They cannot be the building block of your essay. Let me tell you what is the building block. It's not you, but let's assume here. Okay, so here is from Pollock, and now this one is from Brewer. So we have two building blocks from two authors. And where is your own idea? So basically when we say you are using citations, citations are useful for you to support your argument, but they are not the building blocks for your paragraphs. So if you look at this, if this is the whole passage of your writing, and the green part is not you, of course, I know, but if this part are all from other authors, so basically if we take this out, then you can see how much contribution you have for this paragraph. Very small, right? Very small. So try to avoid this. It's very important for us to keep in mind. Try to avoid this because it's not right to use articles or other people's writing as the building blocks for your essay. It's totally wrong. They are used for supporting your argument. So basically, they are evidences. So what is the ideal format of using citation? Let me give you a simple idea. The good idea is this. How? You have a lot of arguments, and here is the supporting evidence. And you have a lot of arguments, and we have a supporting evidence here. Okay, great. So let's look at the different proportion of your writing. The white part are from yourself. You have a lot of arguments. Then you use the supporting evidence, something out from the literature, to support your arguments. So this is the proper way for you to provide citations and footnotes and references. Okay, so I do expect that all students can learn the difference between this one and this one. They are very different, right? So be careful. This one is plagiarism. But the other one, the other way I just say is not. This one is not. This one is very good because you have a lot of arguments and you use this to support your argument. Okay, next. I want to tell you some students still have no idea about how to properly use the EndNote with your EndNote, and where's EndNote, by the way? Oh, okay. The students still do not have an idea about how to use EndNote. Okay, so basically, for example, let's take away, for example, I'll give you some for example, here we need to, according to a previous study, by arrange blah, blah, blah here, right? And I want to enter, I want to cite this portion. So now I need to put a footnote number here. And did you see this one? This is a footnote, insert footnote. So I just click it because I have it there, right? So I click it here and I will move here. So this is something I can write. Normally, what is the purpose for the footnote? Footnote is for you to provide extra information that can help the readers to clarify the context of your passage. But it would be a little bit tedious or redundant or not. It can provide inconsistency for the flow of your main text. So you think it would be better for you to provide this kind of additional information in the footnote. So basically, how can you write your footnote? other than directly insert a reference information inside the footnote. You can provide some other words. For example, okay, so this is the preamble. I want to put the reference here. And I know this information, this is from, let's say, for example, from Brewer. So I go here and click it. And I click here, I move back to here. And did you see this insert selected citation, right? So I can just directly insert it. And it will appear automatically. Check it out, right? So you can see this is the proper way for citation. Let me tell you. This one, when you put a footnote, this is a better way for you to put your footnote instead of just directly input your information here. So normally, if you feel that it's necessary to provide some additional information, you can put something, you can write it before this one. Okay. And let's assume if this is a direct citation. So look here, this is direct citation, right? So it should come out from a certain page of this article. So basically, this over here. Do you see this one? I want to put a page over here to indicate it come out from a certain page. So now I want to get in, and how can you add in a certain page to reveal the page of the citation? Basically, you can use your mouse, right-click your mouse, and there's edit citations, and move to more. And over here, there are a lot of choices here. You can move to pages, and suppose that the page is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 0. Because this, you can see the pages is 1208 to 1220. So now this passage directly came from this page. So I just click it. So you can see the difference over here. So I click OK. Do you see this one? There's a 1212 appearing here. Okay. So can we just directly add in a 1212 here? Let's say 1212 here. Can we? No, we cannot. We need to edit it. So let me do this one more time. If you want to add in number into your citations, you need to right-click your mouse and edit citations and move to more. And type in the page information you want to use, and then you will be incorporated into the notes here. Okay, so basically this is the way for us to make citations. Do you see this one? Because this is direct quotes. We need to provide number of the page. And this one, let's see. If this one, a critical moment of American history was the murder of blah, 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 blah. And here, so as here, we have a number 3 notes, right? And did you notice that number 3 notes and number 1 notes are with the same author? The author is the same. Brewer, right? So in Terrabian and Chicago style, it will be automatically adapted to the orders of the authors. For the first notes, the information provided here will be complete. And for the second one will be a short title. So basically, this is required by Arabian and the Chicago style. This is required. And the lucky part for all of us is that we do not need to care for this. Why? Because it is done automatically by EndNote. So can we change the order of these two? For example, if the note number 3 is over here. Let's see if this is over here. So we have the change of the number, right? So let me change this to, let's see here. Okay, so we change it. This is this one. So critical, all the orders will be arranged again. This one is a little bit changed, right? And let's see if we have another. Let's say over here, if this is another, the same author here. So let's see what happened. If we can increase. Then let's see what happened to here. Again, it will be changed. So it will just follow the EndNote will take care of all the format requirements. And then let's come here to see the reference. This is Chicago 17th footnote style. So can we change the style to Arabian? Yes, we can change to Arabian style. And this is Arabian. Let's see. Are there any difference? Did you see any difference here? If this Arabian, we use IBID. IBID refers to same as the previous citation. IBID is the same. And Chicago is different. Chicago has this is a 16th style, and the 17th style is different. You can see, you can automatically change. So my opinions, I prefer to use Arabian 8th footnote because Arabian style is good for academic paper. Let's assume this. If we want to add in, for example, this is a passage. This is a direct citation. Is that right? So if this is a direct citation, I need to put here. Apparently, I need to have a page number to indicate the location of this passage, starting here to here, right? So over here, you see IBID. Don't be afraid, don't scare, because it refers to same as the previous citation. Okay, so we can right-click again and use more to edit the page number. Let's say this is 1214. So let's see what is the difference between these two. Do you see this one? Same source, the page is 1214. And did you notice that the order of the reference will be ordered alphabetically. So here to here. So basically, this is how we put the citation number. And also remember, citation number appear at the end of the citation, but not in the front of the citation. So let's see. This is correct. The number 1, footnote number 1 should be followed with, there's no space between here, no space at all. So, and this is the part of the citation, and you put the number 1 by the end of the citation. Okay, so this is the right way. And I noticed that some students put the number in the beginning of the citation. For example, this is the citation you want to use. And you wrongly put the number here. No, this is wrong. You should put over here. And there's no space. There should there is no space between the citation and the number of the footnotes. Okay, so be careful. You need to put the citation number at the end of the citation. And also you have to be careful about one thing. Always remember to mark the boundaries of your citation. Mark the boundary. You have to have according to this, and this is the beginning, and this is the ending. So everything here is for your citation. So remember, it's very important to put the beginning and to put the end. And the number of the citation is to indicate the ending of the citation. And you have to use some words here to this. Okay, so in general, this is what we use EndNote and Word. So let me try to summarize a bit. How can you use your citation? How can you use your EndNote? Basically, you go to Windows library, Gesto, and whatever you could to retrieve the articles that you can use. For example, from here. You can go to the library from Windows. So here is the library from Windows, and go to use the English version for you. So you go to find a database A to Z, and this is foreign source. Foreign source, one of the archive I like to use is Gesto. So Gesto, since I connect to the Gesto from outside of the campus, I click the red button, and I get in. And I get in, and because I have signed in already, so this will just pop out for me. If I did not sign in today, then I have to type in my school ID and password. So now I can check out, I can type in the articles I like to have. For example, Taiwan Lantern Okay, Lantern Festival. Lantern, I'm wrong. Oh, there's one word. Lantern Festival. Okay. So Lantern Festival, so these are the articles about Lantern Festival, right? So for example, I find out that this one is very interesting, the Mid-Autumn Lantern Festival in Contemporary Hong Kong. So I download it. I found out this one, I download it. So this is the article, right? This is the article. Normally, I would prefer to save the file with the name. So I will highlight it and Control-C to copy it and download this one. So download this one, I will give the name, I will paste the name here and save it. So basically, this is the file I saved for this one. This one is from MIT Press. It's quite prestigious. It's good. And I'll come back here. What about if I found out this article is very good and I would like to use to support my argument? I could cite. Let's see, cite. When I cite, I will could, let's see, move down to export to EndNote, this one. Export for EndNote. So basically you click here. And when you export to EndNote, make sure your EndNote program is turned on, is open. So let's do it. So this is the file for you to import to EndNote. So now let's make a comparison about this one. This is the file. You can bring the reference information to here. So you open your program and you get ready your file, and then you click it. Do you see this one? You will see the information is here. And of course, once you get the information inputted into your reference, you have to double check to see whether the format is correct. Okay, so this is the, okay, this is one, good. And let's see the minute and the journal design, the MIT Press Barron, the pages number is good. Okay, so basically this is the journal. And how about the attachment here? Can we attach the file into here so we can review? Yes, we can. Let's see. Do you see we just import this file, right? We have saved this file. So now I want to add in, I can click it out, and I want to add PDF files here. So I click it. So this is empty, right? So how can you add in the PPT file into here? I can just simply drag it and put up here, and here is the file I have. You see this one? This is the one I downloaded from JSTOR. So let's see the whole format. Reference is here, and file is here. So I just click it off. So do you see? Whenever I want to read this one, I can just go here to and to check out the information. I can check it out, the information here. See? So this is the reference information, and this is the article. So I can read, I can study, I can make mark, I can take notes. So for example, if I found out the certain passage here I found is very interesting, and then I can go to my Word. For example, I found, oh, this is good, this is good. So how can I cite from this one? I can click it, and I found out that this, for example, this one is very interesting. So I cite. I say in Hong Kong, okay, see this one, and then I insert citation. Look here. We have another citation, and it will be included here. So did you notice that previously we have only 2 bibliographic information here? Now we have 3. We have 3. So this is the way we use to produce a decent Word paper documents by incorporating EndNote and Word together. Okay, and then the next issue for us to know is, did you notice that the font is different from this one? So after you finish your writing, you have to make sure that all the font are the same. So you have to Control A, select all, and go here to make sure the font is Times New Roman. Change it, and move down here. This is not Times New Roman. Times New Roman, you have to Control A to select all the citations, footnotes, and change them to Times New Roman. So this is the final product you need to know. And how can you come up with these words? You have to type it and put it in the central position. So basically, it's very easy. Just type it. Reference. Okay, reference is a reference. Okay, and central. Don't put over here and put here. Okay, so this is the proper way for you to present yourself. Okay, any problems so far?